good, y'all? I'm Jerry. About to check out. Seth Rollins is not happy with CM Punk. This video is by Polana. Seth has openly expressed his frustrations with Punk being back and the thought of Punk not returning to WWE. This been going on since 2019 when Punk first came on to that the little show, that Fox Sports show when Fox paired with WWE back in 2019. They had like a little show with Renee Young, Booker T, Paige, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, all of them was on the show, and Punk was part of it. He was like one of the co-hosts on the show, and that's when the situation between him and Seth first kind of started, and it briefly just boiled over at Survivor Series when Punk made his return to WWE. And Seth has still openly said he does not like Punk. He don't want Punk there. And we're about to see Polana Productions' opinion on the CM Punk situation.
Seth Rollins is not happy with CM Punk.
Nope.
In a recent interview with Sports Illustrated, he finally spoke out about why he doesn't like CM Punk. This explains why he's not thrilled about this groundbreaking return. Let's roll the footage.
Was your reaction a work or a shoot?
Like I said, it was an extremely emotional moment for me. Everyone knows how I feel about CM Punk. A lot of it's stuff that I don't really want to get into. But for the most part, I just think he's been really selfish when it comes to his perspective on the industry. I think he's been extremely self-serving, has played the martyr role to a T. When I met the guy, and look, I got a lot of good things to say about parts of my relationship with him. He helped me in places when he didn't have to. When I met him, kind of made it seem like he was all about giving back to the business. He really turned into a pretty selfish guy and really wanted to take more from the industry. And look,
wow.
He said some really bad things about me, talked down about me for years and the company for years. And said some, I'm talking some really bad stuff. Called me like a bootlicker and crap like that. And like, you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know what I stand for. I'm a loyal person, and I felt pretty insulted by a lot of the ways he treated me, treated the place that I worked for, treated friends that I worked with. I don't need to get into any of the stuff with Colt Cabana. If you want to go and look at, that kind of stuff, that's out there. But yeah, just the way he treated people, the way I felt like he was only looking out for himself, and then the way he talked down about me and my friends and the people who were here putting hard work in WWE, trying to make this thing as good as we possibly could because we love the industry. We truly love it. Not just what it can do for us, but we actually love it, want to give back to it, and want to make it the best it can possibly be. And I always just felt like he was a fraud in that sense, or at least turned into one at some point in the last decade. And so, that's the long of it. It's a deep-rooted. There's animosity there, no doubt about it.
Deep-rooted frustration.
Rollins doesn't like CM Punk or is trying to work us at the same time. Jey Uso feels the opposite about the situation. In an interview with Daily Mail UK, he was fully transparent about why he thinks this is one of the best things to happen to WWE. This is what a true locker room leader looks like right here.
CM Punk's just a star, right? He gonna draw money. People, they gonna talk about him, right?
Yeah.
So hell yeah, he fits when he comes back. Like, that's what WWE is. It was like, no matter what it is, it was
never say never.
The fans, and we're gonna make money, right?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you bring him in? I like the guy, man. He was here when I came here 10 years ago. Like, never was no beef, man. You in this profession, right? So everyone has to have hard skin and be able to take critiques well, whether good or bad or what. You can't get hot about none of this. It's all a work, for real. The only real thing in here is money and miles, right? So, man, CM Punk has he's invited in my house. Like, yeah, it's all love here, I'll work out. But let's line it up, Uzi. I'll do an angle with CM Punk. I'm ready. But yeah, man,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You gotta love the maturity from Jey Uso, and
That's
I
what's up.
completely agree with him when he said you've got to have thicker skin in this business. CM Punk in the WWE is a big money move. It's going to make a lot of money. It's going to draw a lot of people and a lot of eyes to the company, and it's great to see that Jey Uso is well aware of that. Going back to Seth Rollins, he was asked what he thought about Roman Reigns and who should be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, and the World Heavyweight Champion went on to bury Roman Reigns in his title run.
I feel like the thing in WWE right now is who's gonna be the one to take down Roman.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, as of late, because he's been so absent, I don't even really think it's been a topic of conversation amongst fans, let alone the locker room. It's an opportunity, but it's such a glass ceiling opportunity. Like, it feels like almost it's one of those things where it may never happen. Like what's the point in wasting your time over there, because the glass ceiling is so obvious and so thick, which is nice on my end with the World Heavyweight Championship. I feel like there's much more of a real conversation to be had about who's the guy that's going to be able to dethrone me, if that's ever the case, because I'm available, I'm around, I'm visible, and I put myself out there.
That's true. That's true.
Risks that Roman isn't really taking at the moment. So Roman's off on his own world, doing his own thing. If you take a little rowboat out to the island of Relevant Sea at some point, you check the weather out, you leave. So for us, it's really not as big of a thing. It doesn't seem like it's prominent anyway.
I'm actually kind of going to have to agree with Seth Rollins on this one. Roman's schedule is getting a bit ridiculous. The Tribal Chief is now the missing chief. He doesn't show up to WWE anymore, and this honestly feels worse than when Brock Lesnar was a part-time champion.
That's true. I love Roman, but
anyways,
he doesn't work as much as he used to.
Same thing about Roman Reigns, and he said it needs to be someone in the Bloodline family because nobody else can handle the undisputed WWE champion.
But I feel like there's no one gonna dethrone the Tribal Chief, man. I just don't see it. If it wasn't any of one of us in his family, I don't think no one's out there. It was not even Punk, Randy, none of them.
Solo Sikoa is his pick to dethrone Roman Reigns. I don't really want to see that happen. It should be Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, or even Jey Uso himself. However, Jey Uso seems like he'll be busy for WrestleMania time because he revealed who he wants to face at WrestleMania and what he envisions for that match.
Hell yeah, I would love the main event night one with my brother. In my mind, I see remember the Hulk Hogan and Rock moment, when they just stood there. In my mind, we can get that. I know I'm shooting for the stars here, but in my mind, I just picture me and my brother standing there, just face to face, not moving, and imagine the anticipation, the build up to that, live,
I can see that.
I agree with Jey Uso here. I think Jey versus Jimmy would be a big time match. However, I don't think it would get the same reaction that The Rock and Hogan got that night at WrestleMania 18. That was a different level of hype. It could definitely do well if Jimmy and Jey don't fight or attack each other at all until WrestleMania. I will agree with that. The anticipation would really build up. They'd be able to tell a good story without too many spots in the match itself. In fact, this is actually what Randy Orton recently said on Logan Paul's podcast. He spoke about the importance of working the crowd and not focusing on all the spots planned out prior to the fight. Let's roll that footage.
When you have so many things you're thinking about ahead of time, like all those things with Ray, you had them burned in.
For sure.
It's hard to kind of be in the moment. If you go out there, if you and me went out there and we had nothing laid out except for kind of, a beginning, a middle, and an end, there'd be a lot of gaps to fill. There'd be plenty of time to be in the moment. For me, not having all these spots, if you will, to remember, it gives you the ability to be in the moment
and
be
to
out
tell
there
a
and
proper story.
to the people. What we do is kind of, get a temperature for the crowd, and we can adjust on the fly. We can pivot when we want. When you have everything laid out, well, it's a choreographed Dancing with the Stars. I know where I'm going to be at this point in the match, and he's got to duck this, duck that. Here we go, over the top, through the table, da-da-da. You have the whole match laid out. You're probably sleeping the night before, dreaming about those spots. You'll get to a level eventually where you can go out there with some guys, and you can show up an hour before the show, talk very limitedly, and then go out there, and then those people are going to get something else. They're not going to get maybe the athleticism from a Randy Orton that they would from a Logan Paul, but what I can bring to the table is that emotion. And what a lot of guys, when you say that it's a little different with
I ain't gonna lie, I want to see them fight each other now.
I think most of those other guys are just thinking about what's next. So that's the difference.
Randy Orton is 100% completely spot on. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts on all these topics in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Alright, y'all, great video, man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought of my reaction to this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.